Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hello, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
It's an honor for us to have you, sir.
Pleasure is all mine. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
We have about 90 people, I think, so we can begin.
Okay.
So, on behalf of XLRI, the ExPGDM batch, I would like to extend a very, very warm welcome to Captain Pranav Prasoon Thakur for agreeing to this exclusive session on how to differentiate yourself as an executive MBA candidate. This session is especially timely because for the incoming batch, as your program begins and as you commence onto this amazing one-year journey, this is the perfect time to have this session and learn how to differentiate yourselves. And Captain Pranav Thakur is the absolutely right person for this. Just a little bit about him. He is an ex-Indian Army officer with experience in managing an entire gamut of leadership and human resource management, talent management, talent development, change management, and operations management. He is currently the head of HR at Renault India, an alumnus of IIM Lucknow. He has over 15 years of extended experience in human resource management and development and hands-on experience in project management. He has worked with in J&K in counterinsurgency and counterterrorism and has trained officers and employees in various forums on leadership, self-motivation, communication, conflict management, and resilience. He specializes in strategic HR initiatives, leadership development, and cross-cultural sensitization. He is also the author of a book, The Fallen Few, which is already in my Amazon cart and should reach my house in about 2 days. And over to you, sir. It is an absolute honor to have you here.
Thank you, Ayush, and good evening, XLRI. Thank you, Ayush, for all your kind words, and I'll try my level best. So today, bad day though, Saturday evening, but I will try my level best to do justice to whatever they don't tell you there, I should be telling you, and I'll be taking a lot of questions. So, prepare your questions in your mind. That is most important. This is the minimum which a corporate can do today to help all of you to have that feeling of resilience inside and, to congratulate you and to be with you in this time where all of you are in your final leg of your education, and it should be done in the best possible manner. So the topic given to me is differentiate yourself as an executive MBA candidate. Now, I will take the way it should be taken because I have a lot of my own thinking on this entire thing. But I'll break it into pieces and I'll try my level best to make it simple for all of us. So first is the word differentiation. Yeah. Now this word, ladies and gentlemen, I will bring to you is first, are we so keen on the differentiation? And if so, why? For me, if you ask me, education should be, this is a final leg, should be taken as the attainment of knowledge, right? If you position yourself as an executive MBA or a full-time MBA or an MBA from a foreign university, XLRI, IIMs, whichever, means, there's a lot of formats are available. Why you really want to differentiate, right? The first thing is that when you only differentiate, when you think that you are in a competition, right? So this first word was a bit uncomfortable for me. And I thought that I should spend some time because this will be coming to all of you in the times to come. I'll tell you a very, very, anecdotes, which are very funny stories, little bit, which I keep on observing. I'm a good observer. Being in HR, this is our job, to keep our mouth shut and keep on observing people. Now, with this grading of colleges and creating that I am better than you, right, which exists in the scenario or in the ecosystem today, I see a lot of funny things, to be honest, around me. So one is in the LinkedIn profile, I see a lot of people also putting their cat percentiles. You know what? Any recruiter will not hire you for that. Any recruiter. Neither no one will check you for what your percentile. You are today positioned in a college because of your liking and your choice. And I underline these words very specifically to you, because of your liking and your choice, right? You chose it. Many people don't do it, right? And this is an executive MBA. So do you, it was a choice always to continue whatever you are doing it and do it on a later date, or wait for till the time the doors are open for a full time completely and do it. So again, the liking and your choice is the thing. I see a lot of, again, funny things. Few people also behind their cars or their bikes, they write ISB alumni, IIM alumni. It is quite funny, who checks that? I'm telling you. And even if a recruiter comes and you are writing those things, behind your cars, no one will check your car, right? The person is in front, right? So this is one thing which I wanted to point out. As I mentioned, it is only that when you compare yourself, then you are giving a chance to others, to be in that race of competition, right? Or it can be like, I am better than you. Now, this something, and I am better than you, will have a reference, right, from the childhood, when you see that, and it creates a constant stress. So in life, now this word differentiation, I'm still attached to that word. In life, always remember, I am better than you comes, and it comes with a lot of stress. Many times it also comes that, if you are, unstable, right, in terms of your own feeling and thinking, and you are trying to reposition yourself in life, remember, there can, and this is again my learning, take it, leave it. I am good and you can be good too. I am great and you can be great too. I don't differentiate that you are from XLRI, I'm from IIM, so I'm better than you or you are better than me. We both can be great or better in our own senses, right? So this point I want to clarify. And even if you do it because you are doing it, so I'll not underplay it. Even if you do it, there will be nothing great which will happen. In army, if I have to give you a little bit example from my previous, recruiter, Indian Army. So it is a different ball game altogether, right? Whenever you're selected, you're given that, you have achieved a great thing in your life. I was selected from SS18 SSB Allahabad, from where Amitabh Bachchan and Shah Rukh Khan were rejected. And they tell you such things that, okay, these people here, it creates that aura inside you. And the first time when you enter, you cross, it is called Pratham Pag, the first step when you cross it. No one tells you that there is a training of 11 month or 12 month which is waiting and which is really grueling. They will have your happiness of this entire seeing yourself in that uniform. And no one tells you the entire syllabus or what is going to happen to you. That day only you feel that once your SSB is over, your interview is over, you feel that you are there. And the further process starts beyond it. And in the academy, there is one more step which is called Antim Pag, where you commission as an officer. So many times during the training, I and my buddies, used to plan that in the night, one day we will cross the Antim Pag and we will become officers. So how does it matter? Even no one sees us, it's okay, right? It is a shortcut, and who knows, next day we'll put the stars and that's how we'll be. And but again, these things are only jokes because you dare do it. It is a very solemn and very pure occasion where your entire parents and the feeling at the end, like you guys have your graduation day and you guys wear the robe and come into the picture. So that's how it is. It is all the generation of the dopamine effect, and you see your parents, and those feeling of pride and honor comes inside you. Now, why I'm telling you this is, so all these 11 months of grueling training, a lot of things which we were trained, which was not seen in a typical world around, like making yourself in the best of combat situations, in the small arms and many stress factors. Those things are taught to you. Leadership skills, all those things are taught to you. And one fine day you become an officer, and after becoming an officer, you take an oath. And in the oath, there is one sentence which we take a lot of pride and stress to mention. It says, whatever happens, at last the line is, even to the peril of my life. Means even if I die, I will do whatever orders which is given to me. and we take it with a lot of honor and pride, and we shout it aloud, right? And we become an officer. Like all of you will commission, will come out from your colleges, and you all will be graduating in some time. And we all became an officer. Nothing changed. We all were wearing the uniform with the stars and everything. Nothing changed, to be honest. And those 11, so you are, it is your own turmoil. It is your own journey, right? It is your own path. Nothing changes for the people around, right? So then I became a lieutenant. And after that, after 2 years of a lieutenant, you have some exams, you clear it, and then you become a captain. And captain uniform looks better. You have 3 stars on the shoulders. So I thought that, oh my God, now something great will happen, and 3 stars, it looks really, beautiful in the uniform. And you have your own, traditions and culture, the way you are given the stars. And I thought that I became something good, like, it is like an adult who has to be taken seriously. And I was in that flow. I was completely, in that groove. One fine day, I was having tea with my men, and my men came and told me, Saab, there is some change in you. Something is not you. And we have a very different relationship with these men, because these are the guys whom you launch any operation with. They're very close to you. They're like your brothers, And I really felt something has gone, different. And then I spoke with them that, what change do you feel? They were telling you, and of course they are quite close to you, so they can speak anything which they can. And they told me that you have become more egoist, and you have become more commanding and controlling, and there is a different push, which is not the way you used to before, right? And I thought that maybe maybe it was some sort of arrogance which has come, and these guys are the lower man and I am a higher man, something like that. And I really had to correct such things, because if your men feel that difference, that feeling, that lesser feeling, it is like, if I tell you in college life, we all understand, if someone is about to break up with you, you know that there is something which is different, right? The smileys or the emojis will not flow the way it used to be flowing, right? So you feel the difference. So similarly, if your men which you command tells you such things, has to be taken very seriously. Same thing happened in the corporate world. When I came here, I was in the flow again, doing good, took all the ladders. And when I became the head HR again, I could feel some sort of, such whispers coming around, and I have to take a detour and take a correction, altogether again. So what I tell you here is, see, whatever in your journey you become, and in the destination, if this is your milestone or whatever it is in your life, it only matters to you, and maybe the people who are near and dear ones. So one is, don't create any differentiation. Work on you for you. Remember, it's no one else, right? If you're working, if this is one step which you have taken, and of course, there was a selection procedure. There was a choice, which I mentioned, right? There was a liking, there was a choice, and it was a conscious decision which was been made. Then honor it only for you. Don't go, up proclaiming, pronouncing, announcing that this is something which has happened, because somewhere down the line, it will be creating an unknown stress and discomfort for you, right? So one is, it is your own achievement. Achievement is always personal. Point number one. Point number two. Now coming to this course of MBA, and then I will come to the executive MBA. Yeah. So the MBA, of course, the final leg of your education, and it costs you almost, the same amount or maybe double the amount which we do it from the childhood, right? The amount of money which we spend on the courses, right? So first thing which I tell you is, maximize the learning out. Now today, if I stand with whatever pride and honor, it is because the pedagogy with the teachers, the lecturers who has taught me were one of the best. You cannot find such people in a normal tier 1 or a tier 2 with the same seriousness, right? So you say that the life's toughest battle is given to the toughest soldier, because the toughest guys teach you. And if you say that your differentiation is different, IIMs, XLRIs today are used as a byword for being the best. And if you are sitting in XLRI and creating that niche for yourself, remember, it is only made by the trainers which you have. Same in army, I was trained by a para commando. So I was today also I'm a guy with a lot of pride and honor, because the best the elite has taught me, right? The teachings which he has given to me, it is nowhere, it is the hardest ones, right? And that pride and honor I carry. So maximize the learning. Okay, that's what I'll tell you here. Also specify what is your agenda. When the entire learnings, when you put inside the thing and you have your own scheme of activities, put what is the agenda. Now these days I'm telling you, and this agenda, or rather I'll say purpose, has to be very clear. I don't know, let's say after 2 years or after the completion of this program, if the agenda, the purpose is not defined today, right, you will not reach where you wanted to reach, right? If it was just a job, if it was the level for you, already you guys are in some job, you all have some experience already at some level, in some company, in some dream job, it is completely on you, right? And it will be not that one degree will add a great value in this entire thing. Because today in the current situation, if I tell you, this format of education, either it is executive MBA, online MBA, the colleges, the way it is, n number of IIMs are here today. You have baby IIMs, you have normal IIMs and all those things. It is the alumni status, the way it is given. For an HR guy like me, it is very confusing. Everyone is the elite. Everyone is the elite. Then elite becomes a commoner. Yes. If everyone is an elite, then elite becomes a commoner. Then how will you put? There are 2 ISBs today, right? And everyone is pushing their own game that I am great, I am better than you. Then how will that scheme of activities will be a standard, non-standard, the better, everyone is great. And today when I'm telling you the corporate cheese, the thing simple, these guys from a premium college has got a lot of air inside, rather. So that is the energy we put, that go to tier 1, take the best guys from there, right? They will have lesser air, and also almost the same level of expertise or competency. Yeah. So I'm just putting, don't quote me anywhere, I'm putting it is again my personal thinking, the way I see it. But this is the point which I want to make, is elite is common today. It is enough. Everyone is doing some course, right? Investing some money. And today also the selection mechanism sometimes I see is compromised, because when I go and do the interviews, I see that no, this is not at the level of this premium institute sometimes. Yeah. So this is my personal feel. Yeah. Also here, one thing because we were talking about the purpose and the agenda part, remember, we are talking about making of a career. This is the last leg of your career, right? Be very clear what you want to do, what you don't want to do. Things are very easy. If you really want the way it should be done, it is always tough, it is always hard, it is not easy. Woods are lonely, dark and deep, and I have miles. I forgot that woods are lonely, dark and deep. I forgot that. So miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep. You have to push yourself to the level it should be. When you have to play the game which requires a great, victory, then you have to push yourself to the level, where no one has gone there. Yeah. So remember these things in mind. Today, when I see again the kids after this, career making part, when this is the last leg, they do a master's in whichever field, MTechs or MBAs, executive MBAs. After some time, I see them that, okay, getting a global citizenship is a fight for them. Yeah. And it is quite easy. I see many of them moving in that direction. Yeah. And the life becomes immaterial if they don't get it. Either it is a US citizenship, or it is a Canadian citizenship, or Australian citizenship, or whatever it is. The agenda differs after some time, because maybe it is an easy life or a better life what they talk about. Yeah. But apologies, ladies and gentlemen, my blood which I have carries a lot of olive green, and I feel that if this is the nation which I have, I'm not here giving you any lecture for patriotism, but if this nation has given you so much, which we all are standing today with, then and if that is the dream, then maybe you don't even require an MBA from that premium thing. You should give the seat to someone who is far more, deserving and far more hungry, right? So if that is the dream, that can be taken by doing an MBA from any college, not XLRI. Doing from XLRI not required. Yeah. So this is what my personal feeling is. Now the global agenda, if to have a citizenship of some different country, then you're wasting your time here. And I've seen many of them, because they say, sir, the quality of life changes. If you are a man enough or a woman enough or a corporate enough, then change the quality of life of the people here. And that is why you guys are getting the best education today, sitting in that thing. Yeah, of course you say that, sir, it is none of your problem. I am paying my fees, but they are giving you seats. Then you should have gone and studied in some college in Australia or Canada or US. Are you getting my point? So somewhere, what I feel is, of course, if the country gives to you, you have to give back to the country too. Remember this thing, that your body is made of soil, and the soil is of this particular country. So don't be in that mode of agenda, serving and getting, your international agendas. It is your choice at the end of the day. But always remember that rather making this place a better place to be is also an option, right? So those countries can be great, but you are also great too. So that's how it is. So one is that. Again, I will not make it political. We are a poor nation, of course, and we are simple nation. We all are developing, and every day we push ourselves to the next level. But always remember that now you guys are the youth. You guys are taking this energy, whatever you're the best in forms, and the age, that level of life. The entire the change is completely defined at you. Yeah, I have seen many people who are more, affected by what is happening in the global context, rather than how many people are dying of corona in India, and can we do something for that? They are more interested in what has happened in Israel and Palestine. Guys, first if you fly, they tell you that first you take care of yourself and then only you help others. Yeah. So my feeling is that you don't know A to Z what is happening there. Don't define the things, because today you got up and India gave you the democracy of talking, and there are countries who don't even allow you for those things. We know which countries are we talking about. So just we have a freedom. Don't with great powers come greater responsibilities. So remember that. Yeah. And you guys are in the best of form today, best of energy. You're smarter than the generations before. You guys are far better than what we were yesterday. Right? So if you are in that form and your agenda is something different, God bless you, right? Because there is a word called betrayal. Yeah, it is very pervert word in army. It doesn't happen. You'll be shot on your head if you betray such things. And also, if you have those agendas, you're a person of not good making. You're untouchable. Yeah. So your ethos, your ethics in life should be of a very high standard. The integrity, what I'm talking about. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to bring in front of you, that your agenda or your purpose should be well defined. Now, this is the last leg, Master of Business Administration. Now, all of you did a job, and now I'm coming to the executive MBA. Yeah. And this is the right way to do it. Right? Many people, many students, many kids. I see that after college, it is an engineering or some degree which they are doing it. Even biotechnology or whatever. Next, the step is that you just after completing the thing, they join and do the MBA, and of course, the cycle goes. MBA, what I feel, is an experiential learning. It is just not a normal education where you just open the books, mug up the books, and just you deploy it. Sorry. Now, all of you, when I see with a lot of expectation, that you have led some years in some companies, you know what happens. And of course, I bet, being an HR guy, at least 3 to 5 years in a company, it takes to know the company, because first year when you come from any academia, from any college to the company, to be honest, we don't even take you as a one headcount, one FT, full-time equivalent. We don't even take you that, because we have to undo a lot of things which are, because in colleges you're taught in syllabus, right? Just to pass some examination. You can deploy and make some changes in the company. We have to test, we have to check, right? If I have to tell you today that you have to make some export strategy for a company, for any FMCG or a car making company, right? I have to understand your knowledge in every fields which is there. It is finance, it is supply chain, it is technology, whatever it is. And it will not come in 1 year. I have to test you, right? People do mistakes, right? So, and that mistakes will cost, earnings to the company. The profitability will go shoot down. I cannot allow you to do that. But when we come inside the company after some degree, we feel that the next day we should be allowed inside the organization committee meeting, the board meetings, and we define the strategies of the company. It will never happen. Now, with this 3-5 years of experience, what I'm talking about, you know the business a little, right? You understand the problems of the business. You know the right questions to be asked, right? And there you are. Now, these professors who are there today will teach you, will give you the keys of those problems, of those questions, right? And then you have an understanding, and then you deploy it, you challenge it, you can connect with those organization questions which you have, the problems which was there in your head, and there's a beautiful discussions which keep on, which will be building from there, right? So you can assimilate better. Now that is what I was talking about, as an executive MBA. But remember, guys, you are not normal general MBAs. It has to be fast, because your understanding of the organization is better than, for example, a kid who joins a normal MBA. Now here, what can define you as a crusader? I'm telling you 3 words: innovation, creativity, and experimentation. Now these things comes from whichever domain you have worked with. Yeah, and always these points has to be connected down below, where those 3-5 years of experience, whatever was the problem and whichever things which you could not understand, right? So that's what it is. One more word which I must announce and stress here is entrepreneurship. Every organization today would require it. Yeah, today we are in the situation where all our normal way of working, it is all obsolete. It doesn't exist today. We all are experimenting, learning it together. Now you guys are sitting in academia enough. We think that you have enough time to think about it, because we are already there inside. we are just doing it the way it should be done, right? Here, the experimentation happens, but the time is a concern, right? Government takes a decision of a lockdown, and we have to be bang on there, because if we miss the timeline, there has to be a severe effects on the volumes, on the profitability, on the operations, on the cash flow, and the world outside, as you have already tasted, this is brutal. No one listens to you and wait for you, and that's what the points which we use, the words which we use in the corporate, it's quite lethal, right? Those words of Game of Thrones, if you have seen, right, Games of Thrones, it says, right, you capture the market share. Now you penetrate the market. It is very brutal. It is harsh, and that's how it is. So here, when you are there in assimilation phase and thinking phase, you define strategies, because now in this context, tomorrow, if someone asks, or you are there in an interview and someone asks you a question, they will expect a plan of action from you. If this situation replicates in the time and the cash flow is down zero, you have to take some strong decisions in the company. Maybe it is retrenchment, or maybe a product launch, or maybe a product revival. How will you do it? And these are the real-time scenarios. It's not fun, right? So then we want those fresh ideas, those innovation, creativity, and experimentation ideas to be coming very fluently from you. And if you don't have, we don't need you. And a lot of stress when I told on the word entrepreneurship, right? Have that power and energy to create the future. And this I tell to everyone: either you have a dream, or you will work for someone else's dream. So those funny ideas which was and would be made on these days, on your dining table, right? Or maybe in the college time when the doors are open, in the cafeteria, everything is possible. Nothing is bullshit. Nothing is funny. Yeah, I must tell you this, right? It is how strongly you feel about it. Can you make a company out of it? Do you have that power to fail? Can you take all the punches on your face and still keep on moving forward? Remember, keep on moving forward is the focus area. Taking the punches on the face, life will give you enough punches on your face, but you'll fall and you'll not get up ever, right? Because your the purpose which I was mentioning in the second portion of my talk, if it is not defined, if it is not clear, if it is not solidified, it is very liquid, you're wasting your time and energy. You'll never become what you wanted to become. You meet me after 10 years and again you'll say that, sir, we connected then, but still I think I'm lacking somewhere because your purpose was not crystallized. Yeah. So this is what I want to talk to you about, the executive MBA thing. And one thing I must tell you, this they don't teach you in MBA or an executive MBA, is something called politics. Is something called, the human games, what we play around, right? This no one will teach you. You'll have to feel it. People will trample you. People will create issues behind you, and you'll be trapped sometime, and you'll not reach. Even if you are doing great, you'll never reach the place where you wanted to reach, right? So that's what my thing is. There is a very strong word which I mentioned, carry from army days again. How much stamina do you have? It is always my way of life is everything is you, and you are everything. You are the universe. You define it, but you should have that much of stamina and power. They say E is equal to MC square. Everyone is carrying, ladies maybe 50 to 60 kgs and gentlemen maybe 70 to 80 kgs. And we have enough energy which we can create. So in those days, silent days, bad days of your life, where you are trampled, where you are sitting in a corner, there is no energy. Can you create the energy? Do you have the self-motivation? Can you kick it up from there? Can you hang it on for some time? It is difficult. Now, these days, I know that all of you, most of you, some of you, I don't know. I had Corona in September, and it is quite a funny disease. So 15 days, you are all alone, right? All your things will be tested. The resilience which we carry in your head. We're so connected and used to the society, to the calls of the people, to the digital way what we are, our existence in terms of the social media handles which we carry, right? And you're just there alone. What strength do you have in your head? You're fighting a disease. The body is, of course, fighting a disease. Your oxygen level is coming down, and the mental strength has to come, beyond it. I see a lot of people struggling today also. I have lost one of my very dear friend who died because of the disease, who surrendered, who succumbed to this entire thing. I'm not telling that you win. You have to some final struggle which you have to. It is there which you have to conquer. But the fact is, the mental strength is tested to the corner. They don't teach you such things in academies, in your institutions, right? It has to be imbibed, from whatever is existing around. There will be people who will be, and of course these things I tell you, if you are in that situation, you'll be feeling and seeing people who will victimize you as if you are the culprit. They will trample you. They'll position all the blames to you. Because of you, I failed. Because of you, this thing did not happen. You will have such strong bosses which will come and make life tough. Maybe you have tasted few of them, right? And you will feel like you don't exist. You'll feel so small. You'll feel belittled. But still, next day you have to push yourself to the office or to your teams, because you will have a purpose defined. This was a part of this entire game. These are called bad days in life, right? But these people who will be making you culprit, and they will be showing themselves as a victim. Let me tell you something. It is very tough in that situation, and it will come in plenty to all of you. Yeah, no one will tell you. No one will think that because you are a kid, because you are just a fresher, you should be given a good treatment. Sorry, it doesn't happen. Yeah, So the young soldiers are put in front. Captains and lieutenants in army, we are just next to the enemy, right? The first bullet comes and hits us, right? And that's how it is. So they will come and play around. Many people comes, there's enough in my life too, right? Whenever and there is something called using you. You'll be used. People will come, and whenever things are, that okay, this project, maybe this guy is good, maybe will be used for some time, and after that you'll be thrown out. And that's how it happens, right? We call it utilization of resources to make it subtle, right? If you take it, you take it with a lot of stamina and think, they will tell you lack ambition, or many a times they will tell you that you are very aggressive if you are that person who's pushing the things forward. So you have to, my son is a small kid, 9 years now. He says, let's have balance in everything. So you have to balance your aggression and you have to balance your ambition together in the complete scenario. Yeah. So that's what I want to tell you about these bad days, tough days, politics in life. Yeah. One event happened, and all of us will associate here. I'm not telling what is right, what is wrong, but I'm telling you how bad a situation can be. So we had all seen this thing which happened in January 26th. The Kisan Andolan was in full swing. I'm not here to justify or make someone wrong, but see how the things can go out of the hand. The dignity of a country can be put in shudders. Where we soldiers, where we have so much of pride and honor in seeing our national colors on some monument, it is brought down. It is disgraceful. And the people who are doing it, they are completely unknown of their wrongdoings. They don't even understand it. Now, my thing is, when we soldiers, when we die, we come in those colors, the flag. It is very personal and very emotional to us. But today, when I saw that, this year, it was, I was feeling so sorry for these people because they don't understand what they are doing. And such things, why I'm connecting the dots is because this is, we all see, we all have seen it in our own ways, have our own opinions on this entire thing. But nowhere the pride and honor of the country should be brought down at any cost. So similarly, you will be finding yourself in such situations. But remember, in whatever your exuberance, your power, your hunger, your ambition, your thinking, your ideology, your philosophy, the bigger cause, the bigger thing should never be sacrificed for a small selfish reason. It must never. Because at the end of the day, remember, we have to create examples. And we HR guys, every time we try our level best. Many people say that no, HR is a supporting arm, what they do. But the fact is, I'm telling you, we create people. We create the examples in the company. Who has to be promoted? Who has to be brought inside? The final round is HR round, by the way, and we can even the business selects you. We can tell you not the person doesn't suit, right? We can chuck you out from there. So in whichever function you are working, remember, one point is integrity and honor is something, and righteousness, right? It is very important. Now, these things academy or institution will not teach you. This you have to imbibe. Maybe a lost guy like me will be coming and teaching you such things on some Saturday evening. But that's how I feel the life should be led. I'm leaving you with few words. In our training days, this poem was to be hanging somewhere next to our bed. It used to say, just four lines. I'll not trouble you with a lot of English. Life's battle don't always go to the stronger or faster man. Life's battle don't always go to the stronger or faster man. Sooner or later, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. That's all, ladies and gentlemen. This is what was my small address, and I am ready for any number of questions which you shoot at me. So over to you, Ayush. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll open the.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Niharika here. Thank you for hosting. Thank you for coming into this session and giving us priceless advice. And we are really happy to have you here with us. So thank you for coming and giving us time. So I have two questions actually. My very first question is that we have. I have come across a lot of times with the term strategic HR and tactical HR. So it's used as I'll say interchangeably in readings and everywhere. But what is the difference between the two, and how it is different in putting HR practices into an organization?
Thank you, Niharika. If I tell you, it is a tough question, but because I'm an army guy, it is quite simple and easy. See, there are three levels. One is operational and transactional, what do you call it? Okay. Second is tactical, and the level beyond is strategy. So you do day-to-day activities are transaction, which is which is happening, which is small activities which you do every day. Strategy is little bit beyond it. Sorry, tactics is a little bit beyond it, and strategy is what you define. So strategy can be is something like making an organization of fairness. Okay, then tactics can be a regular top-down approach, yeah, or let's say n number of communication channel, transparent management with your few objectives what you define, and operational activities can be n number of employee connects which you organize, town halls which you organize, surveys which you organize, so such things. Yeah, so never, these three words are used very interchangeably, never get confused there. Tactics is at a very lower level. Operations is at a operation or what do you say, day-to-day activities is a lower level, the first level. The second level is tactics, the third level is strategy. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I have another question. Sir, actually, I want, since you joined from IML to Army, and then you have been into the corporate world, so how different or how similar is HR in both cases? And if you could give similar anecdotes from both of these vastly different fields.
Thank you, Niharika. I'll make it simple, and it was the other way actually. First it was Army, then IIM Lucknow, and then corporate. So simply, I'll not take a lot of time. A lot of people will have a lot of questions. Maybe we can have one more session for you if you require. It is the people. Both the places, it is the people, and they require leadership. And leadership, I'm telling you, for me, it is very simple, because all this Army is one of the oldest organization which is existing. Leadership is always leading from the front. It is you create the leadership in front. This pandemic is a beautiful example. You don't come to the office, employees will not come to office. It's as simple as that. Yeah, so it is the people, and one thing connects us. We have led. I have led people from the front, so I know how it works. But yeah, things are a little bit here. People have different likings, their own choices, but yes, at the end of the day, people are people. Yeah, so leading from the front, it always helps.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, Anamya.
Yes, Anna.
For the enriching and inspirational session, I just wanted to ask you, considering the nature of the course that we're going through, and as you rightly mentioned, we'll be pushing our boundaries in terms of exploring new avenues, and also in this journey of self-transformation as a whole. I wanted to know your thoughts around this concept of fake it till you make it, and how efficient do you think it is in this whole process of taking tough decisions?
If I tell you here, take it till you make it. See, again, you're putting some stress, some strong stress. Yeah, and even if you make it, it doesn't matter to no one. It only matters to you. So that's what, see, my thing is invest a lot of energy in purpose making. Yeah, if you have, okay, it goes like this. Something materialistic or something which is a milestone cannot define the success of the journey. I see it like that. Okay. At the same time, perseverance is there, and perseverance is not to show anyone else. It is only for you. Yeah. So you will have your, I'm telling you, keep the stress away. We all are blessed that you're born. You're blessed that you have a life today. A lot of people are sacrificing their life. They're not fine. Things are really tough, right? We all are blessed with good health. Thank God for that. But of course, your ambition should not die because of that. You should have the things defined, but don't carry, which, if you say this book of world has got something called bucket list or take it to make it and all those things, what do you have? Let it go. Or, those things of you don't lose till the time, what is that? You're there, holding on to it, and you're not leaving till the time you're not lost, something like that, which you have some word which I see very, very prominent. Don't stress yourself. Your personal journey, your personal struggle is personal for you. Whenever you come to the people, be a part of the journey if you can do something, right? And it will take you to a life of contentment. Because if you buy others, but again, it might be sounding quite archaic and quite old, that others' problem are others' problem. How does it matter? But sometimes I'm telling you, at that level of Maslow today, self-actualization, there's a word which is created called transcendence. Yeah, which is a bigger sense. You can Google it, you will get it. So what I feel is, take it to make it. It can be, one of the agenda which you can have, but it's not the agenda. Don't stress yourself. Maybe we can talk after 5 to 10 years, and you'll tell me that maybe that was too near. Things afar is quite different. It doesn't have those strategies.
Thank you, sir. Actually,
yeah, you have, like, it's not over till the time you win.
Yeah. Thank you for the answer, sir.
Yeah, thank you. That's all.
Good evening, sir. Anshul here.
Yes, Anshul, go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, thank you very much for this session. It was indeed very enlightening hearing from you. So my question here is that, sir, I've got a lot of friends who are currently serving in Indian Army. I come from a Sainik school background. So, so my question is that, sir, what I feel is that when you're working in Indian Army, the approach in Indian Army is more like process oriented, whereas in the corporate, I feel that the approach is more result oriented. So, sir, I wanted to know your thoughts that when we are in corporate and when the whole concept is more about being result oriented. So do you feel that in corporate world, it becomes much more important for us to be self-responsible so that we take the right approach to get the results?
Oh my God, Anshul, I must tell you, when I came, I was getting baptized in corporate. I used to think that I can tackle any number of people because I take people to war, to operations, and it is simple. But here, tackling people the way we are, it is far more difficult than taking people to an operation or a war front. Number one. Number two is, God bless you, you have not worked in any a Japanese company or even any specific company. Things are more sentimental on processes. Oh my God, I have to tell you this. Yeah, it is too much. So it's not that, it depends on the focus of the leaders, I feel. Yeah. And yes, at the end of the day, profitability or the profit making is the aim of any business. We are not here in charity. Yeah. And that is the truth of life. You will be measured in some numbers, which is your KPI, OKR, objectives, whatever you call it. And no one will, of course, see that the entire process was so-called, in tandem or not. But processes are coming from generations, over generations, right? If you do it, there is a standard protocol defined. And then the conversion of X to Y becomes easy, rather than going on those mechanisms where in all our whims and fancies, and we think that something will happen. So process is important. Many organizations today, if you say the entire ISO certifications which are there, PCCM which is there, it's all completely focused on the process approach. And it becomes easy, I must tell you. Whatever you are thinking that a personal intervention which can create numbers it's very myopic and very temporary. It cannot be everlasting. Yeah. So such strategies will fail. And these are not strategies, again, these are tactics, will fail when the person is done and dusted and the situations come. So for example, the way we are in the situation today, last 15, 18 months, right? If the processes were not maintained and if somehow some company was doing the numbers, they don't exist today, my boy, until they're over. So process, I'm a old, say I'm a bit boring guy. For me, I'll teach you processes. You know that, and everything will come into place. Yeah, but yes, keep on experimenting it. Keep on experimenting it. I time and again I tell you, all of you, right, that this generation is far more smarter than the way we used to be. Right? What the thing which you lack, which all of you lack, is distraction and maybe a little bit weak in terms of I'll say resilience somewhere, because our generations were taught in a very tough manner. Our teachers used to have dandas behind us, but we guys treat you better. Yeah, because you guys are better, of course.
Yes, sir. So it's more important to be self-responsible when you are working in the corporate world.
Yes.
Self-discipline, I would say. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is Nirdesh this side.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, my question was in relation to your diverse background. So you transitioned from army to academia, then to corporate. And we, as part of the PGDM batch, also come from diverse backgrounds looking to transition our roles. So I would like to know your experience during this transition, and also how did you cope up with those bad days you mentioned during your lecture? So how did you cope up with those bad days?
Okay, see, any transition, any change is difficult. It's not that easy, and we all know that, right? So it is, you have to leave a career where you are comfortable, right? Which all of you, I know that you'll be feeling it today, because all of you are into the learnings where you have put a hold or pause on your current careers and then learning it, and that's how it should be, and that's how I love it, because that's how MBA should be. Yeah. It is tough, it is difficult, a lot of insecurities, a lot of anxiety is there. Yeah. And a lot of tough decisions in your life will be coming. I don't know, most of you are married or not married, in the verge of getting married. For ladies, of course, there's a new journey which starts after marriage and the family and all those things, where your career takes a backseat sometimes, and that's how it happens. So a lot of life will be happening in this situation. So simple, you have to relax and you have to breathe. That's how we all should do. For me, Saturdays would be the time where you sit in a corner where things are, if you told the bad days, you sit in a corner with maybe your 2 drinks, see the entire world moving, and see that what has happened to you and what you can do. Or maybe sometimes going for long distance runs, getting those army genes brushed up, because when there will be happening, these things will be happening in your life, when you'll be sleepless, you'll be tired, the normal course will not happen. A lot of anxiety and a lot of thinking will happen, a lot of belittled feeling will happen. Generally it happens at the time of when you do such changes, or in the midlife crisis. Yeah. So for them, and if you're facing it, I will only tell you, go with the flow, hang on there, do the things which you love to do, right? Dancing, singing, whatever you feel like. Take that thing, even 15 minutes per week, if you are doing those things which you love to do. I'm telling you, it will create a balance for you, right? Generally, forget doing that. Do the things which creates a lot of dopamine secretion. Yeah, that you get tired, your body aches, and you sleep. When you used to get trained in army, we never used to care anything, because sleeping was in deprivation. The biggest kick in life was to sleep. I'm telling you, one of my friends used to go underwater while swimming, and they used to sleep there, even for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. That was the dearth. So till the time you're getting great sleep in life, remember you are healthy, things will be fine. That's how the mechanism of recuperation is made. Yeah. Or if really things are bad, pack your bags, go somewhere on a solo trip. Add some nature inside you. Get up in the morning, 4:30, 5 o'clock, see the sun rising and the sun setting. Things will become fine soon. Yeah. Human race has done n number of things which was impossible with only adding these things, few things here and there. And it will survive. It has to survive. That's how it is. And we all, in the bad days, we all will be surviving post that. So I think I've answered, took some time to go in a little bit deep and answer you. I think I answered you, Nidesh.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, sir. This is Archita. I had two questions. First of all, you were there in both the side of the chair. Like, let's suppose when you were giving an interview and after you converted it and you are now the HR of the particular company. So what's the real transition in your thoughts? Like, were you the same, like what you were while you were giving the interview, and you now ask the same type of questions or the same mindset when you're trying to get the person in front of you?
Okay, maybe when I was the other side of the table, I was more brutal. I was ill-behaved. I was snob. When the companies used to come for recruitment, and then I used to, in the first pitch meeting, I used to ask them, "What is the money which you pay?" And and they used to tell me something, which was not to my level. I used to open my tie and used to walk out. And my many friends used to shout at me, saying, "You don't want it. Why you're spoiling our game? And it's enough for us." But that's how it is. See, for me, then was, if you don't define your levels, right? If you don't define your price, their price will be paid for you, right? So and then every time someone I was interviewing few years back, and the lady told me one beautiful word. That so her salary was X, and she was telling my salary should be Y, and that Y was plus 70%. So I told, how can you think, generally when you change the job, maximum you get to 25 to 30%. How can you even you think that someone will pay you 70%? And you know what she says? See, I asked the reason why. She told something called batch parity. And I told, why the hell will I give you the batch parity? You were not recruited well then, and I should, am I not doing any charity here? I did not tell her, of course, but I was thinking in my head then that it doesn't happen, because you did not know how to say no or take a right decision, and you want some other companies, because you see your friends putting their photograph in Instagram and Facebook and in LinkedIn and in Glassdoor, and that how much she or he is getting today, and you have a small feeling. It doesn't happen that way. Yeah. So I'll not say I was bad, by the way. So don't I'll not give you those examples, but be that person should be asking the right questions. Don't be scared. Have courage to say no if you don't want. It might happen that everyone is placed and you are not placed. It's fine. It's okay. Right? Don't go for any lala company. That's I'm making the things very, very clear here. And choose your job, the role. When I'm talking from the other side, when you come from to this side, you have to be people centric, because it is a very pious job. Though HR many times, we are the people who select and we are the people who reject. But while rejecting, we'll say that we'll come back. We never tell you that, okay, you're rejected, right? And you make careers. Many people abuse us also. It's okay. It is army guy is what do you say, is having a layer of protection which doesn't affect. But how many people you give the job, give you praises, how many people you reject, they have a bad feeling. But at the end of the day, you're dealing with the emotions of the people. Yeah. You can break them in no time. They will go and commit suicide. You never know what struggle they're coming from. Yeah. So everyone requires that empathy, that inspiration, right? So whenever you change the seats, you have to be very careful, right? You have to be people-centric. Did I answer you, Archita?
Yeah, thank you, sir. And one more thing, what, like, as you are in like seeing the market right now, so what is it that you're facing like in these days during the COVID? Like the people's mentality have also changed a little, like the psychology that worked prior and the psychology that is working now. Is it the same for a job approach, or do you face a
So no, I'm telling it's simple. It's not hidden. No, everyone is scared a bit. Everyone is irritated. Work from home is very tough. You know,
so
they give.
how do HR particularly has to handle such tough cases?
So you have different measures, as someone was asking, right? Those tactical and operational things, right? So there is something called employee assessment. Employee assistance program. You know, you have those support mechanism from counselors. You have some doctors on roll who help them, right? You have to do a lot of engagement, not those typical plastic engagement, but where you really connect with the see, as I told, simple. If the purpose of the organization is connected with the purpose of the employee, there is no problem. If you have the plastic things, right? Those dance mobs and flash mobs happening in the company, and it is not happening because a typical VUCA world to feel like that, it will be a big problem. So how much energy and time that the leadership took to connect with the employee? If these things are connected, we share the same values. Even if you leave them, they will do the same quality of job with the same dedication. If these things are not done, God bless you and the company.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can
Maybe one last question. I think we are done with the time, or two last questions. Ayush?
As many as you're comfortable with, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Raj.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the session, sir. I won't take much time. There's a very good line that you said. I heard it first time. The blood is olive green. My question for you is, you have specifically mentioned in your this meeting, sir, twice or thrice, there had to be clarity in your life. And I find sometimes it is difficult for me to get clarity in a few of the things that I'm pursuing for. So how to get that clarity?
Again, I will have to take a different session on this. So clarity in life, very simple, guy. You know, Raj, jot the points, all those things. You have a priority metrics. Urgent, important, you know, put those things very clearly. Not everything you can do together, right? So the urgent thing defined first. Second is the important thing later, right? If we have these things divided, if you're lost in anything, anywhere in life, remember, break it into small pieces. Prioritize it and do it. From my side, Army, it comes very normal. Project management is something you guys should give a lot of focus into. The entire life is a project, is what I feel. Everything which you do in the organization is in terms of a project. If you have learned the tricks of the trade or the project management, it will help in your life and in this also. So you have all those specifications mentioned in a project management book. You will have to read it. However, from my side, to make the long story short, define it as in priorities, urgent, important, and define all those activities accordingly. It will be easy for you for a decision making. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hi, sir. This is Ashika.
Ashika,
am I audible?
you asked the question already, no? No?
It's my first thing. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So, sir, I mean, getting into the HR stream, what do you prefer as in what would you be looking into your candidates? What is it we as a candidate should look in a company? And if we talk about you, what in a company would attract you towards like applying a job or pursuing that particular role in the company?
See, as I told, for me in a candidate, for any fresher, I'll not care your marks, nothing. I'm coming to your college, for example. I know that you guys are one of the best, so there is no ifs and buts. Even if there is no priority given for a, let's say, 75% guy to 85% guy, 85% guy will be taken, 75. It doesn't happen like that. Yeah, to be very fluent. You know, these are the personal things don't go and tell to the people around. Yeah, so that is point number one. Point number two is what you should see in the company is simple, the role. And this role is be very specific, because for a youngster, the role will be defined. Maybe you are taken as a HR business partner or a subject matter expert, or maybe a recruiter, or maybe an onboarder. So think about those things. And does it connect with what you want to do there? Yeah. Because see, at the end of the day, if you want to become the head HR, you should know everything. Yeah. There's no shortcuts. So you start, but don't put a lot of stress. Oh my God, that's not comp and ben. Everyone is jumping and doesn't happen. You go at some level, you know all the tricks of the trade of the comp and ben. Yeah. So don't kill yourself for that. Take it one piece at a time. Breathe. Get a job of your choice, and things will be fine. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Priyanka, go ahead.
Yeah, I won't take much of your time. Yeah, first of all, thank you for your time and sharing some small snippets from your life story. Okay, in this corporate sector, I have seen many people with higher designations. They have a lot of self-centric mentality and only a profit mindset. And sometimes this gets quite uncomfortable for the juniors, you can say. Like they don't have much of compassion in them. So how do we deal with such people from an HR perspective side? What do you suggest?
You've caught me on a wrong seat, Priyanka. I mentioned a word called courage. Yeah, so have that. It's not only in business, you'll find it in your personal, all the ladies, especially, I'll tell you. And still, we are evolving to be that generation of gender equality, right? It will also happen in your houses. Yeah, that's the self-centric things will be there. Have courage, yeah, to say something that no, and they will have to listen. They can maximum do what? Kick you out from the company. But if you just shut up and keep on listening to them, and it doesn't happen. And I'm, an example. I'll tell you many times. You will have to take the bull with the horns. It's okay to completely come to the zero halt. Okay, sometimes it will be like, it will be like you shouting and the other person shouting will not happen. Someone else keeps on shouting and you keep quiet. This was my trick in group discussion. I'll tell you, this is my mantra. So I never used to be the first guy to talk. I used to be always the second guy to talk. Right. So once, because otherwise everyone they say what in group discussion should be the first person to talk. It talks initiatives. No, fine. Because person will be fighting for that, right? Be the second person. So someone is shouting at you, very, you wrote something and the person is completely bullish on you, keep quiet for some time. Then you say that, okay, but let me, being the employee of this company, present my, understanding of this entire thing. And then you talk with data. In your entire life, remember, talking emotions will create a lot of noise and a lot of heartbreaks. Yeah. Talk with data. If you know that thing of transaction analysis, Google it, you'll get it, right? The adult talking, the child talking, and a parent talking. Do the adult talking. Talk with the data, no inhibitions, no emotions. You'll win.
Sure.
Courage is the word. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sir, Rita here. Sir,
Yeah.
I'm coming from an organization which believes in firmly being distinctly ahead. So my MD has many times stated that in order to compete, you have to be different. But you said like many of us are from elite institutes. So how important is this differentiation?
We're bringing the topic to the first word, differentiation. Yeah. See, you have to be different. It's fine. We all are different. I am not you. You are not me. Even if we are siblings or spouses, we'll never be same, right? But putting a lot of stress on this differentiation is killing you. A lot of stress on leadership is killing you. Yeah, there is something called natural. That being natural is unique. Yes, so be natural. See, if you have to, you yourself know that where you lack. I bet anyone who doesn't know this. Yeah, but we don't want to develop it. So being different is being natural, being you. Present the way you want to, because MDs will tell you 100 of things. Don't take, not every time MDs are correct. Yeah. Be natural, be you, carry that uniqueness.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, sir. Utkarsh here.
We have three people, Utkarsh, Raj, and Pulkit. Yeah. So we will close these questions and yeah, go ahead. And Nikita. That's all. These are my final questions. Yeah, go ahead. Nick, who else? Pulkit, you're asking, or Utkarsh?
Hi, so Utkarsh here.
Yeah.
So first of all, thanks a lot for the session, and I'm really, glad to connect with you. Being myself from an army family, I can really much correlate what are you talking, and So I have a few questions to ask from you. First question is, sir, how do you think is the job market going ahead? In the 5 years now after the pandemic, for IT or some sort of an MBA amalgamation. And my second question to you is, sir, your specific mantra, sir, what exactly is a fuel that gives you the strength that doesn't let you break down or keeps you aligned to the ethics, as you talked about a lot about jingoism as such. So, because I also have some similar lines that I left, my prospects in Canada. I had some, applications going on there, but I left that and I came here to pursue MBA. So those are two questions, and the third question I'll ask after that, sir.
Okay, I forgot the first question.
So the first question precisely is exactly how the things are going on.
Okay, got it. We wanted to know about the job market. See, I hate something called predictive analysis. It doesn't work. None of us define this, how the things will happen and how the things will change in 2 years. We are all stuck there. See, the thing is, we all are in it together. Number one, in whichever situation. Currently, if I ask you, everyone is focusing on the cash flow reduction, yeah, and maintaining the same headcount. So generally, the openings are a bit limited, yeah, but it doesn't stop. Today, if you come in connection, the entire world is there in LinkedIn. If someone sees the mozo which you carry, they will hire you for that. Today, if the corporate doesn't come to campus, how will you create those opportunities that the campus reaches the corporate? And I used one word called entrepreneurship. Use those funny ideas which people were laughing at it. Can you deploy that? If you tell someone today, as I open my LinkedIn, sir, I want to have an internship, I want to get a job. There are plenty of them. My apologies that I cannot help everyone. But can you tell me how you can change the things for me? People will hire you for that. People will give you an opportunity for that. Yeah. So that is point number one. Point number two, you have to be a bit specific. I lost it.
So I was basically asking, sir, your exact your core strength mantra, so that actually helped you, because so you're from HR. You must be having some challenges that you have to decide between ethics and company's profit. Like, how exactly things happen, and sometimes when the things are very low for you, you had a breakdown and you actually kept aligned to ethics and you were able to move ahead in your life and career and stayed focused. Exactly, sir, that ethical dilemma, or that's a low point.
Okay. So simple. In that phase, when I am down or when I am lost, I just take that route which has to be correct. Now, my correctness is centered to the employee. Sometimes I have to fight with the management. Just between all of us, and not to specify the things, we have done the appraisals, we have done the promotions, we have done the variable component payout, all these things. In the phase when cash flow protection is the direction, but I have to fight with them. Because every employee here is working for a career, is working for money. And management must understand this. How innovative you have to be, how diplomatic you have to be, it will take time. Tact has to be taught. A young soldier is not tactful. It takes a general to do those tact things, and it takes time. Yeah. So first is correctness, and correctness, I'm telling you, there is insight, basic instinct. That insight, which is inside, will tell you, to move in that direction. And if you're lost, just ping me. I'll tell you if in the case, if you want to, get my counsel. Yeah.
Certainly, sir, I would love to. Just with last question now. Sir, how about decision making, sir, whenever you are in a personal professional dilemma, for example, for something very difficult situation, sir? That's the last question.
So decisions, again, it will require a lot of time to explain you. But for me, decision making has to be, as I was talking about the transaction analysis, it has to be the adult centric, no emotions, right? Sometimes even you are emotional, it can go wrong. right? With a lot of numbers, lot of understanding, then it goes further. Yeah. If I have to just give you a glimpse, but decision making, maybe some other time I'll give you some strong thing. And the center has to be courage. That's what it is. The center of everything. You're talking to maybe a wrong guy. You bought a Saturday evening. The courage is at the center. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Pulkit, you have been waiting, and Nikita, you just left. You lost the hope. I'll answer you.
I lost connections. I joined through my phone.
Okay, so Pulkit, go ahead, and Nikita will be the last question. Go ahead.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Firstly, thank you for the insightful session, sir. I had two questions. I guess one of them has already been answered by you. I mean, the question was regarding the dilemma that the HR faces when they are in a standstill between the common interest of the employees and the management calls. So my second question is that as we all know, that automobile industry is going through a rapid transformation phase. With incoming new technologies like electrification, connectivity between the vehicles, driverless vehicles. So is there any particular criteria with which the HR is looking for the new employees, or is there any change in the work process that HR has actually started up with things? Because I've heard that even in undergraduate colleges for mechanical engineering, colleges have already started courses of AI and machine learning, just to make the upcoming engineers prepared for the new technology. So I just wanted to understand those who are who have been already in the industry for quite some time. So is there any particular thing you are looking for?
Okay. Pulkit, very cliche question, but I'll tell you. See, the things, technology will be changing. Autonomous driving, electrification. These things are not new. It is quite old now. With the numbers and all, we are one of the largest in EV sector today. A lot of research is going on. See, the first thing is, I'm telling you, for any fresher, the first thing is, can you learn it? And I reiterate this word. You guys are far, far smarter than us. Yeah. So anything can be taught to you. The first thing is that attitude. Today, when I also see, youngsters, they're very snobbish. They're very cynical. If you have that, I cannot teach you. You think that you're as if, I am better than you. I cannot teach you. For having that mentality, you have to be reciprocated. You have to be surrendering some little bit down. If you put your hand down, then only I can give you something. If you put it up, I cannot give you anything, right? So the first thing is that reciprocation and that desire, right? Rest, everything can be taught. Any such OEMs are very old OEMs. We have a lot of money. We have a lot of budget for training an employee. So whatever you don't know will teach you. Even whatever they teach you in EV and autonomous driving, it is English. It is bookish. The practicality has to be taught by us. Yeah. Made sense?
Right, sir.
No?
And so
Yeah.
one last request, that we have a batch of 120, and if you do plan to recruit this year, do come to campus.
Of course. Yes. Yes, Nikita, the last lady for today.
Yeah, hi, it was good listening to you. So there was one question which was unaddressed to me by my HR few years back. Since you spoke about the same point, which was ethics and integrity. So I just wanted to know, I had faced a situation few years back wherein there was some ethical and integral situation had arisen, and I found some seniors were not up, they were unethical. And when I raised a voice, I was asked to keep quiet. And I realized that such things are asked to be ignored. So if we are ethical and integral on our path, so should we ignore all this and move ahead, or how do we deal with such situation when someone from the senior management or someone is unethical in their practices?
Oh my God, Nikita. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of push today. Remember, in life, two things, if you're working, something on ethics, compliance rather, and something on sexual harassment. There is zero tolerance in any organization. The only thing is you have to be having courage enough. On both the cases, I have seen employees running away. Ladies coming and telling me this is a problem. When I tell that, can you give me a written complaint? They run away. Yeah. So again, I have to position that word very correctly in bold, italics, and underline: courage. If you want to do something, it doesn't happen. You are not in a family business where Papa tells you that, okay, no, you will not go further. You'll say, okay, Papa, and then you'll keep quiet. Yeah. Right. Because Papa is only telling you because he knows, and he he is wise enough. Here, if you felt something wrong, don't search for papas and papa tells you and you'll keep quiet. If you go to MD, if he doesn't listen to you, write him a mail. Doesn't listen, go MD +1. Now, people, for compliance and ethics, there are cases in the court which runs for years and years together. Why? Because people feel something was unethical and they could not go leave it. So never leave it. That thing will chase you. It will give you sleepless night.
Yeah, it did chase me for a while, but then I changed my project, so it didn't matter to me. People actually because
Nikita,
the HR didn't listen to me.
I bring this kid, one thing I tell you, these things are, okay, so there's an easy way of life, there's a tough way of life. Yeah,
Yes.
Easy of life will have never contentment. Tough way of life, you had a purpose. It's not that, you'll be celebrated and you'll be honored by people and, they will be giving you Paramveer Chakra for that. It will never happen. But you, when you sleep in your coziness and when you are teaching your kid, you will use these examples and you will create the society the way it should be. Yeah. So anything related to, and I must tell you, all of you are already having some experiences, anything related to compliance, ethics, and sexual harassment must never, ever be compromised. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you. I think I did justice with all the questions.
Thanks for that. Thank you.
Ayush, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for that talk and for answering all of those questions so patiently. In particular, there was a part where you were talking about how it's important to keep taking punches in the face without falling. And I think in today's world where everything is in flux, that is particularly relevant. Resilience and endurance are the critical qualities. This session was incredibly valuable for all of the students, and your career trajectory in itself is a massive inspiration. You mentioned a couple of times that we have to take another session, and we are going to hold you to that. We hope to see you again, sir. And thank you so much for taking so much, sir. On behalf of XLRI and all of the students who've been here.
Thank you, Ayush. The pleasure is all mine. And Saturday evening, I think I did a little bit of justice. I did not, it was not a boring session for any one of you. And if of course, give me the feedback for that, I'll change next time. Tough times, remember, will make you tough, right? Keep breathing, keep being positive, and keep pushing yourself to the next level. Things will change. And I want to see all of you in the best, careers which all you guys are aspiring for. So God bless you, and anything, I'm just a ping away, call away. We all are there in this entire mess together, and we'll come out stronger. God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, sir.